to be here with you and share my perspective on how expectation can influence women leadership style. So thank you for the kind introduction. I've been in media and journalism industry for the last 23 years. Very old. I often joke with my friends, I'm like fossil, right? So I worked for different media outlets in Vietnam. I worked for Tuổi Trẻ and then Forbes Vietnam. Some of you here may know me. I worked at Forbes Vietnam for 12 years, very long time. I was the deputy managing editor. I was the curator and programmer at all the Forbes Women Leadership content and events. So I have a privilege and working with so many different, like you said, powerful women. The woman who and be supportive to the man's mission. And I said, wait, I just want to discuss with you a little bit about this. I think that is the definition that many of us have been told, have read on media. But I don't think that works anymore, personally. Why women have to be the head and why men have to be the brain? Because I've been working with so many different business women and women working in many different industries, and they can be the brain. They are strategic, they're very innovative, they are the brain. And I also work with men who are very warm, kind-hearted, who just want to take care of other people. And he can be the head as well. So women don't always have to be the head, and men don't always have to be the brain. And I propose a different definition. Women can be an effective partner to wherever they want, as long as it fits with their style, it fits with their skin, and it fits with their lifestyle, right? And if they like it, then they should wear it, right? And I said, no, keep the pink color for me because I like it. And my son liked it too, and he looks great in it. So that two story really tell me about the expectation that the society have on ourselves, and we have expectation on other people as well. In Vietnam, in Asia, to found an airline and is CEO of that airline, and it's a profitable airline, which is very important. In the world, you know, there are only 3 women do the same, but they are small airlines, not the big one like Vietjet. Vietjet can fly to many different destinations in the world. So she is very good businesswoman. She's very unique, and she has fought against the stereotype that women cannot do things that relating. It's very normal, it's very okay. So like me, I'm a career woman. I have to wear many different hats. I have to be very good teammate, very good leader, good wife. People expect me to be so. My husband expects me to be at home every evening. And there's something wrong with that woman. You see, every of us, we face the same challenge. And that it comes to communication skills. It's very important skills in our life, essential skill that we have to negotiate, right? Situational leadership in family as well, not just in the corporate world. We shouldn't talk with old people about anh trai vượt ngàn chông gai or chị gái vượt gió đạp gió rẽ sóng, because they wouldn't know. That's stereotype. Because you see many old people are so good at telling you about all the names of footballers, right? Of singers, of all the hot pop stars. So that stereotype, we have to be very careful when we mention those things. And stereotypes are based on various characteristics such as race, gender, age, nationality, religion, and more. So sometimes we say that Vietnamese people are very passive, especially when we talk with Westerns. They would mention that. So that is very generalized, right? Some Vietnamese people are a little bit slow, which is true. But many of Vietnamese people are very active. And we would listen or we hear some people saying that Americans always overstate many things. Americans, like Donald Trump, always say, "Oh, it's tremendous success. We succeed tremendously," right? So overstate. That sometimes we have that stereotype of America. Always say Singaporeans are very pragmatic. They always look for profit, which is true sometimes, but not all the time, right? So that is what I mean stereotype, based on race, gender, age, nationality, religion, and a lot of other things. So it leads to assumption that all members of the group share specific traits or behaviors, regardless of individual difference. So we all know that we are very different from each other. No one is the same. We have a different background. We have a different mission. We have a different values. We have a different belief. So it leads to different behaviors, right? And interaction and expectation as well. So common stereotype. There are several common stereotypes. Gender stereotype, like I said, a woman who's reaching 50 years old like me, people would say, "Oh, why she's wearing that? That looks so modern." And my son, let me tell you again about my son this morning. I always ask my son's comment whenever I put the outfit before I go out. He's only 10, he's only 9, but he's good at telling me which is good, can go together. And today, he saw me and he said, "Mom, what you're wearing, you look like in Star Wars movie. I don't like it very much. Why don't you change to something a little bit old?" I said, "What do you mean by old? Like normal clothes that you're wearing." So he doesn't like this. I said, "But today I'm going to speak in front of many people and I need to be very polite, very composed, very professional. So that's why I chose this dress with this structure. And I have a reason for that. Everything I choose have a reason." But I manipulate him. I said, "You don't love me anymore? Why you say that to your mom?" I didn't ask my husband because he would say, "It looks a little bit too professional." I said, "What do you mean?" Oscar Wilde, a very famous British poem, Oscar Wilde. You know him, right? He once told that there's nothing like overdressed or overeducated. And they're emotional because when they're emotional, and when they are more emotional and sensitive, sometimes we say that they are empathetic, which is positive word, but on other word, they would say that female leaders are too emotional, which is a negative. The same people, the same feature, but with different definition, and it leads to two different approach, right? If we say that it's okay to show emotion because it's really helpful for your well-being, show your emotion, cry, it's okay. You cry doesn't make you weaker, right? It makes you more human being, right? So I tend to encourage people cry. It really helps, especially we in a very stressful moment. So those stereotypes lead to misalignment and conflict. Especially, I don't like her. I don't want her to be the top leaders. You see the stereotype. But for men, if man is assertive and demanding, sometimes unreasonable, but it's okay. Well, men are like that because our mom told us that it's okay, just forgive them, they are like that. No, right? No. So you see, so there's a misalignment. And for women who are assertive and demanding, that woman, so let me make very clear that being assertive and demanding are very important characters of leaders. You have to be strong, no other way. Of course, you can be flexible and listening with all other soft skills, but demanding and assertive, especially in a tough moment, are so important, right? But then because we women know the expectation of other people, then we adjust ourselves. We adjust ourselves, tend to be softer because we don't want other people to comment, "She's very bossy. She's too ambitious." There's nothing wrong with being ambitious. Being ambitious is good, right? I think it's good. We have to have a plan. We have to have a goal. We have to find partners to work with us to make our goal to become true. So ambitious means have a good plan and very assertive and very demanding, right? So whenever I hear someone saying, oh, that girl is very ambitious, it's not good, I said, why not? Only men are allowed to be ambitious? That's very wrong, right? Anyone should be ambitious, have a plan, right? So what impact does it have? It really impacts negatively. Like I said, stereotype mostly sometimes come from the truth, but most of the time it can be manipulative and can be manipulated. So the impact of stereotype to the performance and evaluation, especially in corporate world, bias in evaluation. Imagine that you have a discussion in your team, and then you give a feedback or feed forward to a woman leadership. Like I said, if the woman is assertive and demanding and direct, and not as soft or gentle as we expect from our mom, then we tend to say that, I don't like her. I don't want her to be our leader or our manager anymore. So here, I just want to emphasize that try to be fair. Try to be fair. Step back a little bit. Have a bird view, right? Because a leader doesn't always have to be gentle or soft, like our mom. Leaders are not our mom, right? And at the same time, if assertive woman is perceived as bossy, then assertive man is perceived as assertive. The same character, the same behavior, with two different comments, right? And it means it leads to two different directions of promotion. Woman can be promoted to a higher position in the company when woman cannot have that promotion that she deserves, right? When man can be promoted because he's decisive, he can make a tough decision, and he can be a good boss. No, it's not always true, right? And there's a self-perception inside us, inside woman, inside ourselves, that, I think that we don't meet the expectation, I'm not good enough. We women tend to think that we're never enough. We're not good enough. We're not perfect. Men are never perfect. Women don't have to, right? Men are never perfect. They make mistakes all the time and we forgive them. So women lead to those self-perception lead to low self-esteem, that we're not good enough. We shouldn't take the position. We're not ready. Why men? From my own observation, when being given the same opportunity, women tend to feel that I'm overqualified, then I take the job, right? Women tend to prepare very carefully, equipped with all the tools, all the weapons that we may have, and then we feel confident. Sorry if it's not true, but this is my observation. Men are very confident. They are overconfident. They will take the job even if they have only 50% of the capability that they can handle the job. Women have to have 120%, right? Observe it in your daily life, in your corporate world. You see it. We only take the job when we are so ready. So it means that we may lose opportunity, because we learn on the way, right? Men are doing the same. We take the job. We don't need to prepare too much. No one is perfect. We make mistakes. We correct it. And then we get better, right? Another thing, the impact of stereotype in workplace interaction, the glass ceiling. The glass ceiling is the term that refers to invisible barrier that women think that they cannot touch to the highest leadership position in a company, like chairman, or CEO or the top leadership position. I can't do it. I can't reach it. I cannot break it. Things like that. So we reduce our opportunity, our own opportunity, because of those stereotypes, consciously, unconsciously, or subconsciously. Stereotype can have a very negative impact in our career and in our personal life. And many other impact, networking and sponsorship. You know, women in startup world, when women seek for funding, investors tend not to invest in women, in companies that is led by women. That is the matter of fact. Very few women have attention from investors. Maybe because most of the investor and most of the leaders from your family members or from your team, that we need to use the communication tool very effectively. That is another skill. It's important skill. It leads to stress and burnt out. It leads to isolation. Like I said, when we lack of confidence, we don't fit into the mold, we don't fit into the expectation of certain group, then we say we're not good enough. Maybe I shouldn't join that group again. I shouldn't join that leadership team or management team because I'm not good enough. So those stereotypes really influence the way we think about ourselves. Be careful about that. And women in leadership face stereotype, which leads to higher scrutiny and criticism. Next time, when you give feedback or comment to your female leaders, think slowly. Encourage her because she needs it more than ever. You, as a manager or leader in your company, you also need it. We women always need to celebrate, encourage each other because we fight the same fight, right? We struggle every day with the expectation, sometimes very unfair, unreasonable, from so many different stakeholders in our life, right? So we need to support and encourage each other to go through this struggle in our life. So my message is, let's open our hearts and mind to challenge this stereotype. Open our hearts and our mind. Open our mind to be logical, to look into fact and science. Open our heart to be human being, to have a better sympathy, empathy to other human being who's trying her best or his best to do his job or her job, right? Because effective leadership doesn't come from genders or race. It comes from various forms, regardless of the gender or race or age or anything, or religion. And if you are a leader in your company, or whether it's small or big, you can embrace and encourage diversity in your leadership style or in your team member leadership style.